Hey YouTube, Ruthless OG here. In today's video, I want to focus on my best class setup for ARs for specific camo grinds. Everyone has a best overall class setup for each weapon, but those setups aren't always necessarily the best class setup for finishing a specific challenge. For example, if your best class setup is geared towards speed, then getting long shots can be a lot harder than what they actually need to be. So instead of building an overall class setup, build a long shot class setup, if that makes sense. Not only can this make your life a lot easier getting those long shots, it can make it a lot faster, especially when we're doing this grind, because it is a grind. And that's the whole goal, right? Let's work harder, let's work smarter, not harder. I used this strat over Modern Warfare when I was grinding Damascus. It worked out well for me, so I've implemented it here over in Cold War with this Dark Matter grind as well. So it's been working. I got 2 guns gold so far, working on a third, which will be done here shortly after this video is made. And with that being said, you know, if you find anything in this video helpful, please hit the like button. If you want to see more content like this in the future, please hit that subscribe button with notifications turned on. With that being said, let's go ahead and dive in. So as you can see here, we're going to go ahead and get into our created class, right? I have 2 classes set up. Basically, I got the mobility and the range class is what I named it for the purposes of this video. First off, there's going to be some camo challenges that I keep doing this. First off, there's going to be some camo challenges that you're just going to get pretty organically, and those camos are going to be your spray and your stripes. So the spray camos are just overall eliminations, right? 300 kills and you finish those 5 camos, and then the stripes are 100 headshots and you finish those camos. You're going to get those pretty organically just by playing the game. So there's really you don't need a lot of focus on there. So for the other challenges, you will have to put a little bit more, give them a little more attention and focus on them a little more if you want to get them done in a speedy manner. So that's what I want to concentrate on in this video. So for video purposes, I will be using one gun that I've gotten gold already to kind of describe both class setups. And that's going to be the XM4. I keep wanting to say M4, right? It's from Modern Warfare. So, and then my secondary is going to go ahead and be the Sigma, just because anytime I am anytime there's a, so my secondary is going to go ahead and be the Sigma, just because I want to get my launchers done. In Modern Warfare, that was the last thing I had to get done, and I could have finished Damascus probably a week early. I feel like if I would have focused on my launchers in the beginning as opposed to in the end. So that's the strategy we're going with here. Is we're going to put the launchers, we're going to go ahead and focus on the launchers in the beginning, and then I'll work on the handguns and the shotguns and the knife and all those other secondaries once we're done with the launchers. So that's kind of the strat there. So when we get into the class setups here, I want to focus this first class more on speed, mobility, and hip fire, if you will, right? To finish some of these camos. And that's going to be, you know, so this class setup is going to be for classic, flora, and psychedelic camos. So the classic camo is get 5 kills without dying 20 times. The flora camo is 75 kills when enemies are stunned, flashed, or blinded by upgrades or equipment or score streaks, right? So, and then the psychedelic camos is kill 2 people rapidly 25 times. So this class setup will help you accomplish and finish all 3 of those in a timely manner, hopefully. So here we go. For my tactical, go over here, back to attachments, and we want to go to class setup. So my tactical, I'm going to be running a flashbang. Just because, for a number of reasons, actually. The stuns and the flashbangs in this game do not last as long as they did in Modern Warfare. I think in Modern Warfare they lasted a little bit too long. In this game, I don't think they last long enough. But with that being said, I would rather use a flashbang just because I want to blind them as opposed to stun them. Since they're not going to be stunned very long, and I may have a little distance that I need to cover before I can actually engage with them. Let's say they're behind a corner or they get behind cover. You know, I want them blinded. I don't want them to be able to see me and possibly lock onto me with their aim assist and me end up losing that gun battle. So that's why I'm going to go ahead and run the flashbangs. And then for my lethal, I'm running Simtex. I'm just comfortable with Simtex. I like Simtex. I've had the most success with that. But you can really run whatever lethal you want with that. And then for my field upgrade, I want to run the field mic, right? Because it's detecting the enemy. So anytime you can put one of those down, kill somebody within the field mic, it counts towards it counts towards that flora camo, right? So you want to make sure you're running the field mic on this class setup. And then score streaks, the only one I found that actually helps with any of these challenges is the spy plane, obviously, right? So whenever the spy plane's up, you're getting kills. That goes towards that flora challenge. And you know, I don't know of any other kill streaks at the moment that do that, any of those AIs. So if someone wants to test that out, prove me wrong, please do so, because it's only going to help us all. Put it down in the comments. But like maybe the sentry gun or that support helo possibly will help with those, but I don't think they do. I didn't notice any difference when I was running those, so that's why I say that. And then my wild card, I'm running Gunfighter, and the reason I want to run Gunfighter is because I want the best possible class setup I can in any attachments that'll help give me an advantage to get that and help me accomplish these challenges faster. Does that mean I'll run Gunfighter in the future? Probably not. I'll probably be running Perk Greed or maybe even Lawbreaker, depending on what I'm playing and the situation. But Gunfighter for me during these challenges is the way to go. Like I said, I just want the most advantages possible to me to help me finish these as fast as I can. So with my perks, on perk 1, I'm going to be running either the tack mask or the flak jacket. And the reason why is really going to depend on how the lobby's playing, right? Excuse me. So if the lobby is just spamming me with a bunch of lethals, then I'm probably going to go ahead and run flak jacket. If they're spamming me with a bunch of flashes and stun grenades, I'm going to go ahead and run the tactical. You know, so it really is going to depend on how the lobby's playing. My perk 2, I'm going to go ahead and run Quartermaster. And the reason I want to run Quartermaster is so I can recharge my flashbangs as fast as possible and keep the challenge progressing as I'm going through the match. So I definitely want to run Quartermaster. It recharges every 25 seconds and, you know, kind of go from there. Perk 3, I'm going to go ahead and run Ninja. Just for, you know, I want to keep that surprise element when I'm rushing and they're flashed, you know. That's just my personal preference. I want to keep that surprise element. I don't want them to be able to hear me when they're flashed if I got to get to them and they're around a corner. You know, I want to keep them blinded as much as possible and take away as many senses as possible from them. But if you don't mind being heard, my second go-to on this class setup would actually be Gung Ho. And the reason why is because you can actually throw your flash while you're sprinting and you can fire more accurately while you're sliding. So that would be my second go-to on this class setup. I may play around with it here as I work on the Krig tonight, but I think that might be my go-to, my second go-to. As far as weapon attachments go, so we're looking at this class setup. On my first one, I'm running the Microflex LED, just because I really like the sight. I mean, it's very clean, and I like clean sights, so that's why I'm running that one. It's a personal preference. The 1.25 magnification, I can see pretty much whatever I need to see, and I don't notice any slowdown in ADS time, so that's why I'm running that one. And then on top of that, the reticle for that is the Green Star reticle. To me, this is just a very clean reticle, a lot like the blue dot pot in Modern Warfare. Not that good, but it for this game, it's pretty good. The other option would be this little red triangle, kind of like on a few of the sites we had in Modern Warfare, but this would be probably my second go-to on that. And then going back to the attachments here, my muzzle. So this is pretty interesting. So suppressors, you actually get penalized a ton for running suppressors in this game. As you can see on the regular suppressor, your effective damage range and your bullet velocity is a decrease of 15%, which is actually kind of a lot. But when you compare that to the agency suppressor, man, look at the agency suppressor, 33% and 30% in the negative column for that. So I'm not running the suppressor. Instead, I want to run that SOCOM suppressor, or muzzle, I should say. And if we look at it here, 85% muzzle flash concealment and a 17% increase for your recoil, vertical recoil control. So what that muzzle flash concealment is, that's actually what keeps you off the minimap. You'll show up for 0.15 seconds, and then the rest of the time when you're firing that gunfight, you'll be off the minimap. So that allows you to engage into a gunfight. You'll pop up real quick, get your kill, move on to your next section, and get your second kill and keep moving around. So that's why I'm going with that muzzle attachment. When we look at the barrel, there's actually a couple different options, but for me, the 13.5 Task Force barrel is the one I'm going with. One is giving me 2 more damage per shot. Effective damage range is up 50% in bullet velocity. In this game, Treyarch, for some reason, really focused a lot on bullet velocity as opposed to recoil and different things like that. Exclusive Ace did a video on it. I'll put the link in the description so you can check that out. But bullet velocity is extremely important. That's why I'm going with that barrel. When we look at the body, on this one, I'm going with the Ember Sight Point. And the reason why is, you're getting in a lot of close gunfights, and with the ARs in this game, the hipfire accuracy is kind of trash. So we want to increase that hipfire accuracy as much as possible. So this gives you the 30% increase to your hipfire accuracy, and then also gives you a 30% increase, which is 30 meters of reveal distance. And I'll get into that in the next class setup, why that's important. The underbarrel, we lost a lot of recoil control with that barrel, so we want to gain some of that back. So here we're going to go with the Field Agent Grip, which is going to give you some more recoil control vertically and horizontally. Get you some of that back. With the magazine, we're going with the 50 round fast mag. More bullets, the better, in my opinion. And then on this wrap, the airborne elastic wrap is pretty awesome, right? So here it shows aim down sight speed increase, so that's big, and then 90% flinch resistance. So when you're getting into those gun battles, you don't want to get shot and then your aim get thrown off because of a flinch in game, right? So that's pretty big. But the other big one here is, in this game, you can't drop shot, but with this wrap you can. It allows you to drop shot in addition to those other 2 benefits of it. So for me, this one is a no-brainer, pretty much on probably every class. And then we get into the stock here. For this class, we're actually going to go ahead and use the Duster stock because of that 5% increase to your slide speed. So like I said earlier, when you're flashing someone, they're around a corner and you want to actually make a move and get to them. With that increase in speed to your slide, you can actually break their camera angle even more, which is going to help you engage and win that gunfight. So increase your chances of that. So that would be that's my go-to for this class setup when you're trying to grind those 3 camos. And if you got any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments, and I'll reply as fast as I can. But so for those 3 camos, this is a class setup. When we're looking into the other 2 camo grinds, and we're really looking more towards a range type of class setup. So for this one, so for those camos, the ones I'm talking about is the geometric camos and the science camos. So the geometric is 50 long shots. So you want to make sure that your gun can obviously hit and do some damage at those distances. But then the other one is this one, the science camos. This is probably the hardest camo to grind in the game, just for the simple fact is there's no clarity on it from Treyarch. It's not very clear. So I've had situations where I've shot people, they're behind cover, it didn't register, and you know, it's kind of frustrating. So that's really why it's the hardest one to grind. But from what I can tell at this point, it's all about the head glitch. So they got to be on a head glitch. I think they may have to actually be looking at you or about to engage you, and then you take them off the head glitch, and that's how it registers. But either way, you got to get 50 of those. If they're strafing back and forth behind cover and coming out, you know, it's not registering. I don't know if it's supposed to or if it's not supposed to. That's where we really need clarity from the devs on. So for this build, to grind those camos, what we want to do, let's go ahead and look at. So the optic, I'm running the Silix Hollow Scout optic. It gives you a 1.75 magnification, which is good enough to see across any map so far in this game. And then again, we're going to run that the same exact reticle, that green star reticle, just because it's the cleanest reticle in my opinion. And then we're going to go ahead and run that SOCOM eliminator as well for the same reasons as I explained in that first class setup. The barrel, you can, in this one, you can either run the task force barrel or you can get away with this extended barrel because it's giving you 100% bullet velocity, which you can see the jump here. Go into the details, 1100 milliseconds or meters per second. So that's pretty significant. So you can either go with that one or the task force. I like the task force personally, just because it gives me a good enough bullet velocity to win those gunfights, effective damage range, and the overall damage is increased by 2. So that's why I like that one. Now on this one, this is where we change it up a little bit. We're going to run the SOF target designator, and the reason why is because this reveal distance down here. So when we look at that, and this only works when you're ADS, but so if there's a character model that you're trying to hit, and remember we're going for long shots and people on head glitches, there's a character model that you don't know is there because of their surroundings. They're just camoed into the surroundings, right? They blend in. With this, when you're ADS, their nameplate will actually pop up at 60 meters, so up to 60 meters. So you know, and with the ARs, Jay did a video where I believe it's 52 meters for an AR to get a long shot on. So this is one I would definitely run, just in case when you run into those situations, and you will run into those situations. So again, we're running the field agent grip because of the recoil control, same reasons I mentioned any other one. The mag is staying the same with the 50 round fast mag, and then the handle stays the same with the airborne elastic wrap as well on this one. And then the stock is something we change as well. So with this stock, we're going to go ahead and run the Raider pad because of 2 reasons. You get that 40% aim walking speed movement, which is your strafing, right? So if you need to strafe and you're running back and going back and forth, which you should be doing when you're engaging in gunfights, this is going to increase that movement speed. It's also going to increase your sprint to fire time, so which is always a positive, and whenever you can get that, you should run that. So that's kind of the best class setup here as far as the attachments go on that gun. When we look at our tactical, I want to run stim shot because obviously we're engaging in a lot of long range gunfights. I want to be able to duck behind cover, heal myself. The stim shots automatically replenish themselves, I believe, after 30 seconds. So that's something I want to be running on this class setup. Again, I'm going to go ahead and run the Simtex. And then for my field upgrade, I'm going to run the jammer. Anytime I hear a spy plane go in the air, I'm throwing that jammer down. I just don't want them to be able to see me on the mini-map. I want to stay as concealed as possible. Again, I'm trying to get in long-range gunfights here and be a little bit more stealth. So that's why I'm going to go ahead and run the jammer. When we're looking at perks, it's going to go ahead and we're going to run flak jacket or tac mask again for the same reasons. And then where we change it up a little bit here is perk 2, I want to run gearhead because I want to reduce the field upgrade cooldown time and store up to 2 field upgrades at one time, and keep replenishing that jammer. And then perk 3, I'm going to go ahead and run ghost. Even though I'm going for long shots, I'm not camping